Hi Gemini, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your April 2020 tarot check for all Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, and shared my videos. I really appreciate that. I continue to have fun co-creating with all of you and look forward to doing readings. Continuing to do readings. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and if you want to know when new videos are posted, hit the bell and you will be notified, which is about every week. So thanks again, and I hope everyone is staying well. I know this is truly a global dark night of the soul that we're in, but on the upside, we will ascend. That's what the dark night of the soul does. It causes an ascension. So here we go for Gemini. Monthly tarot check here for April 2020. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, okay? So your current situation is the Star, and the immediate influence is the World. And your destiny here is the Wheel of Fortune. In the distant past, you have the Queen of Cups. The more recent past, the Ace of Wands. And coming towards you is the Two of Pentacles. You're represented here by the Knight of Swords, and the other people around you, or the environment around you, is the Fool. You have Temperance as your hopes and fears, and in the outcome you do have the Knight of Cups, and then the bottom of the deck here is the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to give you both of these, the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, just because I feel like it, and they're complementary energies. So, this is not a card, by the way, that's just directions, so I think I'll put these here. I don't want to get that mixed in. Or it's, anyway, irrelevant. Yeah, let's take a look at these cards here. So, you have Aquarius, you have Water, Sagittarius, Earth, and, yeah. Your current position, I'm really taking in these cards. You have, I think you have, stories here both for love, but also for money and finance too. Some of you have had a time to renew. You may have had quite a bit of a hectic start to the year, and you were very much caught up in the daily grind and becoming more of a human doing than a human being. And what this whole situation does is slows us, right? Almost to a complete standstill, which most of us are not used to doing. We become so focused on the outcome and not on the journey that we get absolutely lost, and we lose our lives. We give up all of the important essential elements to having fun in life. So this combination, I mean, look at this. First of all, they're both nude. So they're both completely free, which I think is interesting because you don't normally see these two together like this. The World is the dancer of the tarot, and she's circled by a wreath that represents infinite abundance, okay? So it's wish fulfillment. You have wish fulfillment, and you have a cycle that's coming to a close. So if you've had the last couple of weeks have been uncertain, they've been scary, they've been stressful, disappointing, that is coming to a close. That energy is moving and shifting away from you now, Gemini. For some of you, you may have been on the phone late at night talking to people who were also confused or uncertain, worried, and just kind of using those overall communication skills. Some of you may be posting on social media and maybe bringing up some levity to the situation, even though it's, kind of hard to do that, but I do think some of you have used that gift of communication during this time. Now, again, here you have the Wheel of Fortune, and this always brings a bit of luck, okay? The wheel is always turning in your favor, Gemini. And so for those of you, again, who are manifesting a love situation, you are bringing forward to you, it's like this quarantine has really put things into perspective. What do I want in the next leg of my journey? And we want to be able to answer that kind of a question with certainty, because when we're certain and clear, the universe will always deliver. And this is like a universal gift. This is like, what do you want? Your wish is my command. but you have to be clear. If you give a confusing order, you'll get a confusing outcome. So you want to be very clear in what you want. If somebody were to call you right now, who would you want on the other end of the line? Be that clear, be able to answer right away, this is what I want. And if you can do that, you'll get it. The things will come through. So for some of you, this is a great time to sit down and journal a bit and write down your intentions. What do I want my life to look like? What things do I want around me? Because thoughts become things. So when we look around us at the material plane and the things that we've manifested, those are all vibrational indicators. Where was our vibration along the path? So you may look back at your life and see times where you clearly were on a higher vibration and were manifesting a lot of fortunate things, maybe travel, abundance, great love, fun friendships, things like that. So know that you can always find that again, okay? If you've come out of alignment, your only job is to get back into alignment. So in the more distant past, you have the Queen of Cups here. And again, I feel like you've been very nurturing to people around you, like you've been taking care of people, helping people out. And to some extent, you kind of wonder too, where's my person? It's kind of like, where is this person that will take care of me in that way? And they're coming. They're definitely, some of you, I think you've already met them, but it's just not solidified to that level. As far as work and things, in the more recent past, you had a new opportunity here. And I do believe you took it and got started on a path, and it's had a bit of an interruption, to say the least. And so there's a feeling of, not urgency, but it's like impatience. That's a better word for it. A feeling of impatience. Like, I want to get back to this. I want to get back to my routine. And of course we all will, but with some changes. So what you have, the energy coming towards you, you do have a decision that needs to be made, and will be made. I think they're weighing all of the players in the situation. This has more to do with work, where they're doing some reorganizing. I mentioned last week, some people were going to see a little bit of a bonus, and then just today, there were multiple retailers that announced they're giving $2 pay incentives to anybody who's still working. So for some people, they definitely did see a pay increase. But for you, it's more of a restructuring kind of a feeling. And it's going to be a trial and error process. It's not anything that's going to be devastating to you, but it's, again, there's impatience on your part because you want some answers. So the best advice right now is ask yourself 2 questions in terms of communication. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Some of you are going to have employers who ask for feedback. What else? Any other ideas that we could be doing? So clear your mind and offer those, because that could be another path that gets you kind of a higher level of regard at work. So offer those creative ideas, because they're going to be well received. Now, again, I mentioned impatience earlier, and that energy, this is you. So you have to be a bit careful. It's air energy, with just kind of charging forward too fast at somebody. I think at this point you definitely have a love interest coming through who wants to spend time with you, but they have some other things that they need to organize, they need to take care of. You just have to be careful here with being too intense and brash and even a little bit arrogant. So be careful too with how you plan things, because sometimes we have a really well laid plan and unpredictable elements come in, and it's like it really upended your plans. I think if you would have been able to predict what would be happening a month ago, you wouldn't have predicted any of this. It was like I had all these plans. We were going to go spend a weekend away at a winery, and now we're not, and that kind of thing. So continue to pivot and find good things, because we need to just pay attention to the timing when we get this card. You're not afraid at all, but also to be careful of arguments and accidentally starting arguments with somebody. So this is infinite potential. And this is the energy around you. This is the environment around you. So again, you have an environment that's changing and adapting, but it's also there's, like I said, some uncertainty, but it's like they're open to new ideas. So I feel like in the work realm, you could really make your mark at this time, Gemini, by being a great communicator. If you're in marketing, certainly. Those of you that are in some kind of a publishing or editing business are going to do really well at this time. But there's somebody that wants to have a fresh, clean start with you. This also could be connected to the Ace of Wands that we talked about in more career terms. But I think that there's a person that wants to come back. They've been watching you for a while. They've been watching you on social media. They have even, I think, done some drive-bys past your work or past places where you normally frequent. And they want a fresh new start. They want to just jump in head first, head over heels, with reckless abandon. But there's somebody with them who's kind of telling them not to do that. And it's interesting because you have kind of that charge ahead energy too. There's something that's holding them back, kind of like how that little white dog tugs at his ankle, kind of like, hey, wait, look out. There's somebody in their environment who's doing the same thing, just saying, hey, just slow down a minute. We've got all kinds of other things to take care of right now, and you might have to wait. If it's, feelings there, it'll be there in 6 weeks or 3 months from now. So your hopes and fears here are temperance. This is Sagittarius energy. And it's all about knowing that our path isn't completely a linear path. We don't just walk in a straight line. Even though it would make life a lot more boring, we want that predictability sometimes. So this is also too just telling you, you may need to operate in moderation for a little bit here. But it's a card of major healing. That's why I feel like if you're manifesting an ex, there will be major healing in that relationship. We went through a dark night. You went through a dark night of the soul in that relationship, and through this global dark night of the soul, it's being brought back around because there was love there, Gemini. There was a real connection there, and it was sort of some superfluous things that got in the way. And I think this person can be easily influenced by other people who really don't belong in the relationship. They like to add their 2 cents in. But they're going to come through with a big offer. Okay, it's a Knight of Cups has a big goblet to offer. This is not some little page. This is somebody serious, and they see your worth. They can love you as a whole person, whereas before I don't think they could. I think there was some adjoining through your brokenness or your woundedness, and the problem with that is it can take on a very codependent feeling, like if I'm more approachable when I'm wounded. Can use that in somewhat of a social currency, like this bad stuff happened to me, so now only good things should happen. And I feel like there was an element of that existed that needed to be moved away from, and now it's more like, wow, look at what we have to offer here. This is definitely spring, in terms of the timeline, but you've got the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. And so this will be a time of, you're going to reap some rewards financially. Those will definitely be coming through this spring, and it'll be unexpected, but you've put in the work and you've done some things right financially that are going to pay off for you. But with the Empress too, this is all about new beginnings. Both of them are in this beautiful opulent garden. There's all kinds of new growth around them, new opportunities. And it's going to be a very loving time for you. Like I said, this person wants to, if they could come breaking the door down right now, kind of like, like in the movies when you see the person that shows up in the pouring rain, it's that kind of feeling. But there's just an element of wanting to move forward with stability, and that's why they're not doing that. They just feel like it would be too impulsive and it would come across in a way that seems unstable. I mean, sometimes you'll get kind of a a bipolar type of energy in a reading. There's none of that here. This person is definitely stable. They want to commit. And it could be, like I said, it could be somebody from a while ago who's kind of come back around, but not in full, hasn't been fully manifested, but it's there, you know, for sure. So I'm going to give you a couple of cards here. I subscribed to yesterday I ordered a subscription to live Abraham Hicks broadcasts 3 times a week for the next 3 months. It's just awesome. It was really cool to see Abraham just show up live on my computer. So I'll give you a Money in the Law of Attraction card here. My what is need not influence my what is becoming. What is has no bearing on what is coming unless you are continually regurgitating the story of what is. By thinking and speaking more of how you really want your life to be, you allow what you are currently living to be the jumping off place for so much more. But if you speak predominantly of what is, then you still jump off, but you jump off into more of the same. Okay, so our thoughts become things. The universe, the law of attraction uses us. We don't use the law of attraction. We get what we think and feel. So here is a Whispers of Love card. Focus on love. Look for the good in everyone. So those are a great fit, because if you do that and you find the good in everyone, you are going to get, that's your match. That's what the universe will match with you and to you. So I love you so much, Gemini, and I will be back in about a week for a weekly tarot check.